Okay, so this is problem 12.5.11, and they ask us to assume that a normal distribution of data has a mean of 23 and a standard deviation of 6, and then they want us to use the empirical rule to find the percentage of values that lie below 35. Okay, so the first thing we need to do in this problem is just start with a curve, and we know that we're dealing with a mean right here of 23, okay, and they're telling us standard deviation of 6, and we want to find the percentage of values that lie below 35. So I'm going to put 35 right here, and I'm going to go ahead and shade what it is that we're looking for. So they want us to find the percentage of values that are below 35, not just to the mean, but all the way below. So we're actually looking for all of this area here. Okay. All right, so, and they want us to use the empirical rule to find this. And because they give us the standard deviation here and they tell us that the standard deviation is 6, then we can use that to figure some stuff out here. So the first thing is if I just look at from 23 to 35, that's actually 12 units. So if you just take the absolute value of you could do 23 minus 35 or 35 minus 23. It doesn't matter. We're just looking for the positive difference there. And so that's 12 units. So that's actually, since one standard deviation in this problem is 6 units, then 12 is obviously 2 standard deviations away from the mean. Okay, and there's a rule that tells us that 95, and this is the empirical rule that they're speaking about, 95% of your area is going to fall within 2 standard deviations of the mean. Okay, so I want to actually draw you a picture here to make sure this makes sense. So what that rule is actually telling us is that, you know, if you're here and here's your mean, and this right here, we're looking at 2 standard deviations, and this is 2 standard deviations, then this is 95%. Okay, so 95% of our area is falling within 2 standard deviations of the mean on either side of that mean. Okay, so this 95% isn't telling us all of this, it's actually telling us between 35 and 21 what's happening. Okay, so we actually need to also, or not 21, 11. So we also need to look at, you know, what's ending over here, because we need that as part of our stuff as well. So we can use this idea though, if 95% is between the 2 standard deviations, then the other 5% is split between these areas that I don't have shaded. So there's 2.5% in each of these areas that I don't have shaded here. Okay, so for our actual answer, between the 11 and the 35, that's 2 standard deviations in both directions here for this, from this mean. 95% of the values of the area is falling within that region. So we have, you know, 95% here, but then we also have this right here, this 2.5%, what they're asking for, the way they've worded this. They want all values that lie below 35, so that's down to the 11 and then here as well. So the answer to this problem then, if we want to find the percentage of values that are below 35, it's actually 95% plus the 2.5%. So in other words, 97.5% of values are going to lie below that number 35 for this problem. Okay, that's it.